Lesson 2. Meet the players. Rook, Bishop and Queen. Part 2. Introducing the Rook, Bishop and Queen. Concepts: how to move your Rook R, Bishop B, and Queen Q. Meet the players. Part 4. The Rook is your second most powerful piece. The Rook moves as far as he likes up, down, left and right. Your Rook, the Tower of Power, looms at the outer corners of the kingdom. At the start of the game, the Rook likes to sit still, biding its time. The other pieces dread the moment when it will rattle to life, for Rooks have wheels, and this powerhouse piece is one of the swiftest and most devastating on the chessboard. Some people like to call the Rook a castle, but actually a Rook is used to build a castle for the king. At the end of the game, the Rook really shines, gobbling up pawns and creating lightning checkmates on kings foolish enough to stay in their castle with no guards. The Rook can move as far as it needs to, in a straight line, in any one direction. Meet the players. Part 5. Bishops love to work in pairs. The bishop moves as far as he likes along slanted diagonals. The Bishop brothers are the advisors to the royal family, the king and queen. They sidle up on their tippy toes, whispering advice into the ears of their masters. When they were young, the Bishop brothers loved to run on the checkered floor of the castle, always sticking to one color. The Bishop brothers hate it when people can't tell them apart, and so they made a deal with the king. While they both move around diagonally, one brother will always stay on the light squares, while the other stays only on the dark. The bishop is a powerful long-range piece, famous for making piercing pins. See Lesson 9 for more on pins and aiming at hopeless enemies from afar. Copyright chesskit.com, page 1 of 6. Lesson 2. Meet the players. Part 6. The queen is your most powerful piece. The queen can move as far as she likes up, down, left, right, and diagonally. She is like a rook and bishop combined. The queen is the most beautiful woman in all the land, and also the strongest. Every day she wakes up an hour before dawn, while the king gently snores, to swim in the freezing waters of the castle moat. She loves kickboxing, taekwondo, marathon running, and knits sweaters that say I'm the best in her spare time. There's only one queen on each team unless you promote a pawn, of course, but when she moves, everyone watches to see where she is going next! The queen is so fast that she can move like a rook or like a bishop on any given turn, up, down, left, right, or diagonally as far as she likes. The only thing the queen can't do is jump over pieces or move like the tricky knight. Copyright chesskit.com, page 2 of 6. Lesson 2. Meet the players. Lessons 1 and 2. Instructor's Guide. The goal of the first 2 lessons is to help your students learn how the pieces move in a fun, kid-friendly way. Experience has shown that trying to play a complete game of chess on the first day of class can be too much for most children, especially younger ones with no previous chess experience. We recommend that you have your students play mini-games like Farmer and the Piggies, and Pawn Wars to break down the task of learning each chess piece in specific chunks. The mini-games allow the children to play something right off the bat. See the Farmer and the Piggies instructor handout for a sample lesson example of how to introduce the mini-games. The pawn and the knight are typically the hardest pieces to learn, which is why we teach them first. By the end of the second lesson, your students will have the most practice playing with pawns and knights, and will hopefully be comfortable with their movement. Practical notes and advice. Lesson 1 and 2. Use the worksheets during class to allow for individual practice of each piece's specific movement. Allowing younger students 4 to 6 years of age to draw lines and color the worksheets, displaying how each piece moves, is a practical way of engaging their attention. Place enemy pawns on all the squares that a knight can capture to reinforce the concept that a knight only captures pieces that occupy the square it lands on, and not the pieces it jumps over along the way. Make sure you clearly explain the rules of each mini-game to ensure that the principles and critical concepts come across. Point out that a queen is essentially a rook and bishop combined. Because the queen can move like a rook, that gives her the ability to have the power of 2 bishops, either light and dark squared at any given time. Copyright chesskit.com, page 3 of 6. Lesson 2. Lesson 2. Are the Rook R. The rook moves as far as he likes along files and ranks, up and down in any one direction. Practice moving the rook. Copyright chesskit.com, page 4 of 6. Lesson 2. Lesson 2. B the bishop. B the bishop moves as far as he likes along diagonals, and always keeps to the same color square that he starts on. Practice moving the bishop. Copyright chesskit.com, page 5 of 6. Lesson 2. Lesson 2. Q the queen. Q. The queen is the most powerful piece. She can move like a rook or a bishop, up, down, left, right, and diagonally as far as she likes. Practice moving the queen. Copyright chesskit.com, page 6 of 6.